What up guys, and welcome to the ZAMORAK or Tsutsaroth hard mode guide. And I thought about making this due to going there myself to try and obtain the Krill pet, but also get 100 hard mode kills for my final boss title. So I thought if I'm going for this, then the majority of you guys probably are going to hard mode God Wars Dungeon more often, and therefore I thought, why not make a guide for it? The most effective way to complete ZAMORAK hard mode God Wars Dungeon, and the most efficient way in terms of still making a bit of money and also going for the pet, would be to do it in duo mode and alternate your roles between DPS role and tanking. I'm going to show you how to maximize your melee DPS by walking you through a full Berzerk ability rotation. I will then walk you through the tanking role and the 3 special attacks from Krill, to then going through the different methods of how to counteract those special attacks to make it as effective as possible so you can stay here for a good hour or longer. Alright, so let's have a look at the worn equipment first. I'm going to go clockwise around my character. So starting at the top with Malevolent Helm, I've got full Malevolent Armor, I've got the max cape there for the max skill teleports. I can quickly get to ZAMORAK to build up the kill count to then go into it. I've got the Torva boots there, the bottom right. I've got Vampirism Scrimshaw and Vampirism Aura, which are a fantastic combination here because you're using melee and the heals are just immense when you have both of those activated. Silent Ring, Razorback Gauntlets, and of course dual Drygores. And right at the top left there, the Brawler's Blood Necklace, which works very well here. It has plus 44 bonuses in strength and also gives you extra heals. You can swap out Malevolent Armor for Torva or Tetsu, that's absolutely fine. But now moving on to the backpack on the left hand side, I've got my Ring of Vigor switch for when I do my Zerk ability rotation, which I'll walk you through in a minute. I've got 3 Adrenaline pots, 3 Adrenaline flasks, Divine Shield for switching over to Resonance hits and also to tank if you wish, if you're a mid-level PVMer. I have 10 Super Restore flasks within my inventory. I also have 10 in my Yak, which I'll go to in a second. I've got 4 Sardamine Brew flasks, 2 Rocktails, Yak Scrolls, spare Yak pouch, because of course you're going to be here for longer than an hour, including the kill count. I've got 2 Supreme Overloads and 2 Supreme Renewals. I've also got a ZAMORAK Soulstone, which you can see in my backpack there. You charge that up with hard mode kills, so if you get 40 hard mode kills yourself within a trip, then when you go back later on, you do not need to get the kill count, you can go straight into the boss fight. Within my Yak, I have Rocktails and then 10 Super Restore flasks. The main reason for having 20 Super Restore flasks in total is so you can last there for a good hour due to the prayer drain that Krill inflicts upon you. You could also take a combination of a Demon Horn necklace and an attuned Ectoplasmator, which means every time Krill dies, you switch over to your Demon Horn necklace and then you will actually charge your prayer points from his ashes. However, that takes a lot of effort, and to be honest, the majority of people won't have an Ectoplasmator, so don't worry about that at all. Just take 20 Super Restore flasks, keep your Brawler's Blood Necklace on, you'll be fine. Okay, now onto my favourite part of the video, which is maxing out with your melee DPS Zerk rotation. Now firstly, what I think is important is to go through every single ability that I'm going to use within this Zerk rotation so you fully understand the name of the ability and what it does, okay? I'm not going to go through the damage of each ability, but I will go through the names of them so you know what I'm referring to when I actually go through the ability rotation live when I actually kill Krill. The ability which I'm referring to will be marked with a white circle around it, and also I refer to the keybinds that I have on the action bar. The first ability that you're going to hit is the ultimate ability, which is Berzerk, which lasts for 20 seconds. You will then make your way over to Krill to use Decimate, and then use Sever, by which point you would have used an Adrenaline pot to then use Assault. Once Assault is finished, go back to Decimate, then go to Fury with a combination of attack of Destroy, and then after Destroy, Decimate with a recharged, use Decimate again, and then use Sever or Havoc. That rotation will allow you to apply maximum damage within a 20-second window. I will now show you another 2 different live scenarios where I use this ability rotation at Krill, and just watch how much it absolutely obliterates Krill.
Just believe me, this journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me. might be right to say always. For the nights where we heard with salt and blaze.
I had to improvise on the first scenario there because I wasn't close enough to ZAMORAK when I used Decimate, and so it didn't charge my adrenaline. So again, just get as close as possible as you can to that set rotation, and you will maximize your DPS within that window. But now moving on to the tank role, there are 3 special moves you need to watch out for, but if your teammate's DPS is strong enough following the rotation I went through earlier, ZAMORAK, or Krill sorry, should only have chance to release 1 special attack, but if both of your RNG is running smoothly, then you may even have ZAMORAK down before he uses a special. That's if you both have max gear. You will in fact see me camping the shield quite a lot here, and that is not mandatory if you're a high level PVMer, but if you're a mid tier PVMer with lower gear, which means you're not going to be able to DPS Krill down fast enough and you may inflict at least 1 or 2 special attacks, then it's worth camping a shield. Also, if you just want to chill out a bit more and make sure that your partner gets the drop so he can get a pet, then again just use your shield. Or if you're experienced, then dual wield, use devotion and debilitate at the right times. But if you're new to tanking, ZAMORAK hard mode is a good place to learn full manual tanking abilities in preparation for going for higher level fights such as Virago bomb tanking. I'm now going to show you some examples. Despite if you're using a shield or dual wield, these work all the same, and I'm going to be showing you the abilities you need to use to counteract these special attacks that Krill inflicts upon you. Okay, the first special attack I'm going to address is the time when Krill shouts out, "Run, coward!" And then you've got to basically just move 1 step. It's pretty easy, really. It's not that scary at all. But there you go. He just runs like a numpty into a wall, and that special attack is over with. That is probably one of the easiest, but also one of the most frustrating in some ways, because it actually loses out on a lot of DPS, because whilst he's doing that animation, neither of you can actually DPS Krill, which slows down the kills. Okay, the second special attack is probably the most deadly attack due to even when using devotion you still have a lot of magic spells that are afflicted upon you, and therefore you can take a lot of damage. So ZAMORAK, or Krill sorry, will shout out, "Die in the name of ZAMORAK!" At this point you want to pray melee and use devotion, and you'll take minimal incoming damage except for the magic attacks. If you're using a shield, use reflect. If you're using dual wield, just DPS and tank the hits. Throughout the kill normally, I'd recommend just to use melee prayer as well anyway, flicking to soul split at times of when you use thresholds. And the third and final attack refers to when Krill shouts out, "You cannot stand against ZAMORAK's might," and then spikes come up from the ground. All you need to do is just step away from those and they will not damage you any longer. Otherwise, these will continuously damage you 900 life points, increasing as time goes by. If you do choose to dual wield here whilst carrying out the tanking role, which can be effective, then just make sure you use debilitate at the start of the fight, and also use devotion wherever appropriate. I don't recommend you to zerk it out, instead just use thresholds and basic abilities, and flick to your shield to use resonance wherever possible, preferably when he's doing the die in the name of ZAMORAK special attack, because you can heal quite a lot from the magic hit or a melee hit. And then of course use preparation so the resonance comes off cooldown a lot quicker. And that is how you complete an effective trip at Krill hard mode. Good luck going for your tiny Krill pet, and if you enjoyed this video in any way, then hit that like button. It's much appreciated. Any support in that way really goes far and gets these videos out there across the Scape YouTube community. Feel free to subscribe if you're a new viewer. I will see you in my next video or live stream. Happy scaping.